Hey, happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week, officially, hump day. So let's get over this hump and do some high quality work. Gonna start off today, actually going into chapter 6, and we're gonna use the info and the knowledge that we gained yesterday concerning types of conflict. But first, we're gonna go ahead and do this do now. So for the do now, I want you to think about a time when you did not agree with someone or something. What was that like? Just earlier today, I didn't agree with my wife about what we should eat for breakfast. She wanted to eat waffles, and I wanted to eat like bacon and eggs. I didn't really want any waffles, but she wanted waffles and just waffles. I just wanted bacon and eggs. So we had a little disagreement, and it wasn't that really that big of a deal, but that was a conflict. All right, so we didn't agree, but I mean we got through the situation, and we both ended up getting what we wanted. So it ended up being peaceful, and it was resolved. So we're gonna go into the types of conflict again. Remember, we went over it yesterday. You can reference that work as well. Types of conflicts refers to the different types of struggles or problems a character can have in a story. The conflict can be external, meaning the character has struggles with has a struggle with someone or something on the outside. All right. So there are three types of external conflicts, as we know. We went over them yesterday, and you worked through examples of external conflicts and internal conflicts as well. But remember, there's man versus man, which means when the character has a struggle with another person. Man versus nature, when the character struggles with a particular force of nature, such as a storm or animals. And then there's man versus society, when the main character or the person goes against societal norms or laws, and it causes a struggle. So there's a couple of examples of that. Just like yesterday, man versus man, two rivals are in competition with one another in a sport or in a career. Example for man versus nature, a woman is trying to save her family from being harmed or separated during a vicious hurricane. Man versus society example, Katniss Everdeen is trying to beat the Hunger Games in an effort to save the districts from death and destruction. And then conflicts can be internal, when a character has a struggle within him or herself. A character is trying hard to break the habit of procrastinating so she can reach her goals of opening a business. Remember what procrastinating means. All right, I got it over there in the comments. Or it could be over there. I don't know which way it's going to be, but it's in the comments. So I want you to read chapter 6. I believe for chapter 6, do we have... No, we don't. We don't have a link for chapter 6. So I'll be reading chapter 6 for you all. You don't have to listen to it. But if you want, you can follow along with me. If otherwise, you can stop the video now and just get the work. The work is, I want you to find an example of an example in Miracles Boys in our book in chapter 6. Of man versus man, so like two people against each other, the main character versus someone else. Man versus society, probably the main character or any character, really. It don't have to be the main character, just any character in the book versus society, right? A societal norm or a law. And then man versus self. So that's someone battling with their self about something. So they're struggling about, a decision that they have to make. Should they do this or should they do that? So man versus self. And we're not doing man versus nature. Don't worry about nature. Just these three. I need one example for man versus society, and man versus self. Okay. So let's see. Let me go ahead and make sure I got the correct chapter up. So we're in chapter 6. Oh, in fact, I am not reading chapter 6 because the link is provided for chapter 6. So it's chapter 7 and 8. Well, I'm going to be reading to you all. Chapter 6, I am not. So read through the chapter, follow along with the audio reading of it, and come back And as you go, I mean, if you see something that's man versus man, man versus society, or man versus self, go ahead and fill in that example from chapter 6. It doesn't have to be the main character. Remember, it could be Lafayette, Tyree, any one of the characters in any conflict situation. I want you to go ahead and put that example down. If you're feeling ambitious, go ahead and put down 2 examples of man versus man, or man versus society, man versus self. There's several examples throughout the course of the chapter, so you can challenge yourself and put in 2 or 3 if you would like, but I definitely need one for each one of these 3 that's listed in the chart. Alright, get to work, stay safe, and remember, do work for your other classes as well, and tell your friends also to come on and do their work if they're not doing it. And remember, I'm on Zoom Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.